This podcast is sponsored by Talkspace. You know when you're really stressed or not feeling so great about your life or about yourself? Talking to someone who understands can really help. But who is that person? How do you find them? Where do you even start? Talkspace. Talkspace makes it easy to get the support you need. With Talkspace, you can go online, answer a few questions about your preferences, and be matched with a therapist. And because you'll meet your therapist online, you don't have to take time off work or arrange childcare. You'll meet on your schedule, wherever you feel most at ease. If you're depressed, stressed, struggling with a relationship, or if you want some counseling for you and your partner, or just need a little extra one-on-one support, Talkspace is here for you. Plus, Talkspace works with most major insurers, and most insured members have a $0 copay. No insurance? No problem. Now get $80 off of your first month with promo code SPACE80 when you go to Talkspace.com. Match with a licensed therapist today at Talkspace.com. Save $80 with code SPACE80 at Talkspace.com.
It is Ryan Seacrest here. There was a recent social media trend which consisted of flying on a plane with no music, no movies, no entertainment. But a better trend would be going to ChumbaCasino.com. It's like having a mini social casino in your pocket. Chumba Casino has over 100 online casino-style games, all absolutely free. It's the most fun you can have online and on a plane. So grab your free welcome bonus now at ChumbaCasino.com. Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
Why do narcissists disappear without explanation? If you've ever been in a relationship with a narcissist, you may have experienced their sudden and unexplained disappearance. One moment, everything might be fine, and then, without warning, they pull away, stop responding, or even vanish completely from your life. This behavior can be confusing and deeply hurtful, especially when you're left wondering what went wrong or why they've disappeared without any explanation. The truth is, narcissists are notorious for disappearing without any notice, and this behavior is rooted in their psychological makeup. It's not about you, it's about them and how they manage their relationships, their egos, and their need for control. Here's why narcissists disappear without warning and how you can understand and protect yourself from this behavior. 1. Narcissists need constant validation, and you're no longer serving that purpose. Narcissists are fueled by their need for validation and admiration. When they first enter a relationship, they may shower you with attention, affection, and praise, often known as love bombing. They view you as a source of constant validation, which makes them feel powerful and special. However, once they've secured your attention and admiration, they often feel as though they have won, and they no longer need you in the same way. This is when they begin to devalue you. They may start withdrawing, ignoring you, or even disappearing entirely. Devaluation: when you no longer serve the narcissist's need for constant admiration or validation, they can lose interest in you. They may look for new sources of attention to fulfill their narcissistic supply and become distant or disappear without explanation. Their self-worth depends on external validation. Narcissists cannot function without a constant flow of admiration and validation from others. When they stop receiving this from you, or when they start to feel that you are no longer as useful to their ego, they may withdraw to find it elsewhere. 2. They fear intimacy and vulnerability. While narcissists crave attention and admiration, they are also deeply afraid of intimacy and emotional closeness. True vulnerability is something that narcissists struggle to handle, as it threatens the facade of perfection and control they desperately maintain. Fear of being exposed: being close to someone requires showing vulnerability, and narcissists fear being exposed or seen for who they really are. Their self-image is fragile, and they often hide behind a carefully crafted mask of superiority, perfection, and charm. Emotional intimacy with you could risk revealing their deep insecurities, so they may vanish to avoid this confrontation. Avoidance of emotional depth: narcissists are not comfortable with deep emotional connections because it requires real empathy and reciprocity, things they generally lack. Once the relationship becomes more intimate and less about superficial admiration, they may withdraw to avoid confronting these fears. 3. They want to regain control. For a narcissist, relationships are often about maintaining control. They like to be the one who dictates the dynamics, leaving the other person in a position of dependency. When a narcissist feels like they are losing control or that the power balance has shifted in the relationship, they may withdraw to regain that dominance. Creating distance to regain power: If the narcissist feels that you are gaining too much emotional independence or are no longer as easily controlled, they may use disappearing as a way to reassert power. By pulling away, they force you into a position where you are uncertain, confused, and emotionally off balance, exactly where they want you to be. The silent treatment. Narcissists often use the silent treatment as a form of punishment or control. If you've done something they dislike or if they sense that you are challenging their authority in the relationship, they may suddenly disappear as a way of punishing you for your behavior. This tactic often leaves you questioning what went wrong and wondering how to fix it. 4. They lose interest once they've conquered you. Narcissists are often driven by the need for conquest. The initial excitement of winning you over and gaining your affection fuels their sense of superiority. Once they feel that they've successfully conquered you, they may lose interest because the chase is over. The honeymoon phase ends. At the start of the relationship, everything may feel perfect because you're giving them all the validation and attention they desire. However, once they have you emotionally invested, they lose interest in the pursuit and begin looking for new sources of admiration. They may disappear, often without any warning, in search of the next target to fulfill their ego needs. Moving on to the next source of narcissistic supply, narcissists constantly need new sources of validation to keep their ego inflated. When they feel they've exhausted their supply from one person, they may disappear without explanation, only to find another victim who will admire and adore them. 5. They can't handle rejection or criticism. A narcissist's self-esteem is incredibly fragile, and they cannot handle any form of criticism or rejection. If you have expressed your needs or voiced dissatisfaction with their behavior, they may see this as a threat to their image or ego. In response, they may disappear to avoid dealing with any potential rejection or conflict. Fear of being exposed. If the narcissist perceives that they are being criticized or challenged, they may feel exposed and vulnerable. To avoid the possibility of rejection or further criticism, they may choose to withdraw entirely. Abandonment at the first sign of discomfort. Narcissists often have a fear of being abandoned or rejected, but ironically, they are quick to abandon others when they feel criticized. Their self-worth is so fragile that they are unable to tolerate any form of disapproval, and disappearing allows them to avoid confronting this. 6. They need to create confusion and instability. For some narcissists, disappearing without explanation is a tactic to create emotional chaos and maintain control. By leaving you in a state of confusion, they can destabilize your emotions and keep you coming back for more. Unpredictable behavior. Narcissists often act unpredictably, and their disappearance can be a tool to keep you guessing. This creates emotional turmoil, making you more dependent on them and their validation. By keeping you in a state of uncertainty, they can manipulate you into coming back to them. Playing mind games. Narcissists often play games with your emotions, disappearing and reappearing when it serves them. This keeps you off balance and emotionally vulnerable, reinforcing their control over the relationship. Conclusion. When a narcissist disappears without explanation, it's often a strategic move designed to protect their ego, avoid vulnerability, and maintain control. They do not view relationships in the same way as others. They are not looking for genuine emotional connection, but rather, a source of validation and admiration. When they feel they've exhausted that supply or fear being exposed, they may vanish. If you've experienced a narcissist disappearing without explanation, it's important to remember that this behavior is about their psychological issues and not a reflection of your worth. Narcissists are driven by insecurity, neediness, and fear of exposure. Instead of seeking answers from them, focus on reclaiming your sense of self-worth and learning to detach emotionally from their manipulative behavior. You deserve relationships built on trust, respect, and mutual care, something a narcissist can never truly provide.
It is Ryan here, and I have a question for you. What do you do when you win? Like, are you a fist pumper? A woohooer, a hand clapper, a high fiver. If you want to hone in on those winning moves, check out Chumba Casino. Choose from hundreds of social casino style games for your chance to redeem serious cash prizes. There are new game releases weekly, plus free daily bonuses. So don't wait. Start having the most fun ever at ChumbaCasino.com.
Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus. Terms and conditions apply.